You try to speak out
We're
one?
live. We're live. You're plugged in? Salakia, Brachiala, did you say something?
Wakana, I hear you now.
Okay, Tawab, that's Tawab. Shalom, Lord in Christ. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakathal to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. Right, this is the I.S.U.P.K Canada history class. We're gonna go at it. We're just working out our volume situation. If you're watching, put a 1 in the chat if the volume is Tawab. Let me know what the volume's like. Am I coming through clear in the chat? I'm gonna drop the sign-in link for you in the moment. Give me 1 moment. I'm gonna drop the sign-in link for you. How's the volume sounding in the chat? Sounds Tawab. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatha, Officer 500 Shariwan. All right. Give me a moment. We're gonna drop that sign-in link. While we're waiting for the sign-in link, I'm gonna just play a little of that One West flavor. Got that little One West flavor for your ears. Hold up. Let me see something. Hold up 1 second. Now I gotta give you that One West. I like this. We're gonna run this. Yeah. All right, so hit that sign-in link. Hit that sign-in link. We're gonna start in a few moments. I could train a dragon, I could dance, so take my lion. Any climate, and I'm shining like a diamond. I desire, been a tyrant, never silent. My retirement's desire, but my dwelling place is fire. Fitting for my attire. If I could aim any higher, I hit the Allah higher. My asylum is at the bottom, my fridges and the bottom. While we're shaking, taking the city with a trunk. Cause it's one big titty bitch, ready to get fucked from the front to the back. We never stumble, never lag. Where they recover from the Sabbath, we on the streets wreaking havoc, bringing terror from above. This is Donald stripping the glove with those minos tripping with blood from the scripture, stitching one W. Really, I'm here to trouble you problems, and I'm a troubleshooter. Rich niggas won't fuck with you, making they people uncomfortable. Ushing you to the upper room, truly with the untouchable, fully automatic boss status. 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 I'm here to conquer. Word is about to let my spot to get it on. She got the beauty in the bra, booty eating the thumb. Wisdom I never pawn. Your bishop raping your dog with the footage breaking it down. So I'm ruthless about the law, killing these Christians with a cross. Your religion, you're living false. Hostility in your thoughts. So I'm coming through with the salt. Kentucky ain't oh what my ship or what indigenous will call it. The cross taking the scepter off the mantle like Moses before the battle. The chariots in the rattle. We riding out while the shallow. You copycat get the gallows. Coming out of the shadow of death. Resurrect the elect. One West automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. I face the east when I pray, but it's One West. All this camouflage on me, I'm a warfare. U.P.K gonna rule, it ain't far-fetched. You niggas won't world peace like Ryan Ortez. Hey, took it and ran with it. The old me had to die for me to transition. All the churches closed down, it's a pandemic. But you be carrying every hill like a transmission. You can take the general or at the bar. Niggas running out of time like I out of more. Red cup like a label, I'm a connoisseur. I'ma leave a what if I draw the sword? Nigga, it's a code of conduct. Put on all black, it's a rank, I know he's solid. She ain't gotta get naked, she know she poppin'. We was yelling back up way before the virus. Hey, most high Christ, this type of life ain't for the weak, you gotta sacrifice. We sin unaware, niggas go against the grain like they cutting hair.
one was this who raised son. That's where I came from. That is my aim. Was I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake son. Look, you can hate son. You cannot take son. I've been in every hood out of my state son. Out in the streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Masons. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I can stay them. I earn my spot, it'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine. Go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days. We had some hard ways. Always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. It's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, what you thought shit was. Nigga, it wasn't. Know that I do this for dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunted. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keeps coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wait, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Dark days, no night vision, that's why.
All right. We're back at it. Monday night history class. Let's get it. Tonight's topic, if you're in the world, you know, it's pretty obvious. The whole world is celebrating a bad leader, right? They're making a idol out of a bad leader, a person who led our children into the line of fire to be mauled by canines, right? Martin Luther King Day, right? Is Martin Luther King weekend in the world for brothers and sisters in the world. For us, it's just if you're in the I.S.U.P.K, it's just a regular weekend, right? We're just going to talk about it. We'll break it down, history class. So what we're going to go through is a little bit of history. We're just going to talk about the things that Martin Luther King did, right? And because of his ill leadership, right? Because of his leadership, that it wasn't good. It wasn't a good leadership. It has ripple effects that ripple all throughout the Black community, right? We say support Black business because of Martin Luther King's nightmare, right? So let's get into it. We're going to start with this article. Oh, Salakia. 1 second. Right, so we're going to start with this article. Good night. Hit that sign-in link, share this class, share this video. Let's get this article real quick, right? So again, because of Salakia, I can't even say the name. Salakia. Because of Martin Luther King's dream, we have to say support Black business. We have to go to our oppressor for little pieces of crumbs, little trinkets, little handouts to keep our businesses alive. We're the only nation that has to do that. Every other nation doesn't have to go to the oppressor for their business to succeed, right? The Chinese government doesn't have to get, not the Chinese government, but you go down to Chinatown in downtown Toronto, right? They're not out there saying, give us money so Chinatown can stay, right? They're not. You go out to Danforth and Broadview. The Greeks aren't saying, give us money so our community can have business, right? They're making sure that business happens, right? They know to keep their culture. They know what Martin Luther King Jr. didn't, right? So we're going to go into this article. It's titled Little Jamaica Receives $1 million federal dollars, right? So Little Jamaica receives $1 million federal grant to help it sustain Black-owned businesses. Good night. This is a nightmare, right? they gave them $1 million to sustain black businesses, right? I'm gonna show you what they're talking about Little Jamaica. I gotta get this little, let's see if I can find it. Give me one moment. I'm gonna find Little Jamaica for you. Right, Little Jamaica is not even like a kilometer long. It's basically a corner in a city, right, where predominantly black businesses are, right, and because, and this is how you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, where we live in hell. We definitely live in hell, because when you go to Eglinton and Oakwood in Toronto, it's not just Jamaicans there. You have Trinidadians there. You have St. Lucians there, right? But because the oppressor only sees black as one people, right? They don't recognize that it's different. It's different. It's a whole different, a bunch of different cultures. Like Trinidadians aren't the same as Jamaicans, even though they are the same people. It's still the same tribe of Benjamin. There's a little different, right? So for them to even just dub the whole strip Little Jamaica, it shows that they never cared anyways.
Khan.
Right. So let me see if I could find it. One second. Give me one moment. I'm gonna find it right now for you. But while we wait for it to load, we're going to continue with our article. Okay. Yep, I found it. All right, let me take down this share screen. I'm going to share another screen with you, right? Just so you can see what they call Little Jamaica. Right. So if you're looking at this screen right now, Salakia, one second. Good night. Right. If you're looking at this screen right now, right? So what you're seeing is this red dot. This red dot is Oakwood. Little Jamaica approximately goes from this red dot and keep going out away from myself and Barakia Allah. You keep going out until the first little intersection, which would be that blue dot, right? The light blue dot beside the orange one. That's Little Jamaica, right? It's a predominantly Caribbean neighborhood. And it's not even exactly like a neighborhood. It's just a little spot where Caribbean people pay rent to oppressors so they can set up barbershops and hair salons and sell food, right? Here's the kicker. None of the business people own the property. And that they've been trying to buy that property for years, and no one's selling it to them, right? So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna go back into our article. Shalom Shariwan, Officer Shariwan, Yahbashim Shabrakatha. Baraki Allah, you might want to Baraki Allah, say something for a quick second.
Salakia, you hear me?
Khan, I can hear you now. Officer Shariwan, say something for a quick second.
Sir, can you hear me okay?
Okay, Officer Sharyuan, your mic is kind of distorted. Right, but while you fix that, we're gonna go right back into our story. We're talking about Little Jamaica. I just brought up a little image of Little Jamaica, so the people can see. Right, you could just Google Eglinton Avenue West and Oakwood, and you'll see a little strip between between Oakwood and Marley. There's a little strip, right? It's called Little Jamaica. It's full of businesses where the outside of these businesses, Salakia, they look like they look like they're decaying. And that is no fault of the owners, because the owners don't own the buildings, right? But the buildings look like they're decaying. The owners want to buy the people who rent the shops, they want to buy the buildings so they can fix them up. Right? What the owners of those properties know is the city's going to revitalize that area, which it is currently doing. It's been doing it for about almost a decade, right? It's revitalizing that area, and they're in the process of finishing a train line, right? There was a parking lot that is now a condo, right? Little Jamaica is soon going to disappear, and it's going to be condos, right? If you want to find out what happens to businesses in Toronto, just go to Big Slice, right? When the city wants to develop, they don't care. It just happens to be that the city wants to develop black neighborhoods. They've been doing it and selling properties, developing neighborhoods where black people live, selling off half the property. Right, so we're going to go into our article. Little Jamaica receives $1 million federal grant to help it sustain black-owned businesses. Right, now with all the black people that are in the city of Toronto, that are in Southern Ontario, Little Jamaica shouldn't be relying on a handout from the federal government. Right, and this is happening because Martin Luther King taught us that. All right, 1 second. Let me get my other screen share. All right, so we're gonna go into this article that I have. Right, and this is Martin Luther King's dream right here, being played out to the fullest. Right. Now this sister, she owns this restaurant, right? Da, 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 da. All right, so let's get into this article. Business owners are hoping that a $1 million federal grant aimed at revitalizing Little Jamaica will help boost the profile of the historic community into Toronto. Right, so the business owners are getting a $1 million grant. Right, or let's just go back and read this again. Business owners are hoping that a $1 million federal grant, right? So this grant is aimed at revitalizing Little Jamaica. Now, we're going to have to go deeper into it to find out, are the business owners receiving this money? Are the property owners receiving this money? Or is the city going to just spend the money themselves and fix up Eglinton and Oakwood? Right? And to what end are they fixing up Eglinton and Oakwood? Right. If you have any questions, you could type them in the chat. Akim, if y'all want to jump in at any time, feel free.
Come on, sir.
All right. Salakia. All right. So the owners said on Sunday the money is coming at a good time because black-owned businesses along Eglinton Avenue West, mostly located between Marley and Oakwood, right? That's Little Jamaica. That little, to walk from Marley to Eglinton, it takes all of 10 minutes. It's not really like a long strip, right? Mostly located between Marley and Oakwood Avenue, have been struggling since 2011 to stay open. Ha! What has been happening since 2011? Around that time, talks of building a train line through Eglinton. Right? Let's 1 second. Metro links. Hold up. I'm gonna Google that for a second. Officer Shariwan.
Come, sir.
Lucky, I need to get a water. Officer Shariwan, can you Google the let me know the date of the construction. Try to find out the date of starting construction on the Eglinton Crossway.
Come, sir.
Like, when did they start construction on the Eglinton Crossway? That's what we want to find out, because we just read an article that said the black businesses have been struggling since 2011 to stay open, right?
Salakia, other one. Yeah, Salakia, other one. The construction of the first phase of the line began in 2011.
Ha! 1 second. Officer Shariwan, say that again.
Construction of the first phase of the line began in 2011.
Owners said on Sunday the money is coming at a good time because black-owned businesses along Eglinton Avenue West, mostly located between Marley Avenue and Oakwood Avenue, have been struggling since. Officer Shariwan, what was that date?
2011.
Good night. This is Martin Luther King's dream right here. Right? Listen, you can't even say give that man a hand. But this is his dream right here. Right? So now because everybody knows about a Moxie's. Everybody knows about a Jack Astor's. Everybody knows about somebody name a restaurant.
God, so what do they got? Kelsey's, Applebee's.
All right, 1 second. 1 second. How many people know about Judy's Island Grill? Right. Black people go to Kelsey's, Moxie's, Red Lobsters before they'll go to Judy's Island Grill. Right. That, like, look at this pasta here. This pasta looks absolutely amazing. Right. And there's so many places. There's so many places on Eglinton you can go to eat, and just in general of black-owned businesses that sell food where you can go to eat. Just in general, like when we were younger, I don't really do the 3 a.m. club thing no more, right? I don't think I have that energy. A priest is always busy to be in the club at 3 a.m. It has to be an event or something, right? But we would be coming from the club at 3 a.m, right? And be hungry. Get to McDonald's and see that McDonald's line in the drive-thru wrapped around the McDonald's. We would say, forget about it. Eglinton.
Yep.
$10 a big styrofoam of chicken,
God.
or you get $10 a styrofoam of chicken and rice with the hardle bread. Right? That's what Eglinton's famous for, right? Nah, brothers, you can cut your hair, but you don't have to get the lineup, right? You don't have to edge up the fade like a gay Egyptian. Salakia, an Egyptian in purple.
Salakia, out of one. The correct word to use is gay for my understanding, sir.
Slovakia.
Don't gotta sweat that.
So, God, right? But Eglinton is where you go to get your haircut. You want the best haircut in the city, you would go to Eglinton, right? You would have to go to Eglinton to get your haircut extra early because the lineups get long, right? So now we're gonna get out of memory lane for a second and continue reading, because since 2011, Black businesses have been struggling. Since 2011, they've been doing construction on the Eglinton Crosstown, right? First, businesses in the area had to contend with Eglinton Crosstown construction. More recently, they had to deal with COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. And this is another thing, right? We had to, like, Black businesses had to literally shut down on Eglinton or they were getting fined, while their counterpart businesses were damn near open. Right? So a lot of Eglinton's foot traffic is through the restaurants and the barbershops. Right? And that's damn near, you have a couple beauty supplies, but it's damn near a lot of salons and barbershops, and they were closed, right? But the traffic flow wasn't the same for the longest because a lot of Eglinton, the sidewalks were boarded up because of the same construction that was happening for the Eglinton Crosstown. Let's get back into our article. More than 50 Black-owned businesses in Little Jamaica have closed their doors in the past 5 years. So Slovakia. COVID-19, how long has COVID-19 been here? The plague been here? On record, it's been about, what, 2 years?
Sir.
So there's 3 years of businesses closing before COVID-19. Right? So let's read that again, right? Where did it just say that? More than 50 Black-owned businesses in Little Jamaica have closed their doors in the past 5 years. And that is such a terrible thing, because a Black-owned business is not supposed to be closed. Right? If a Black-owned business is closed, the money that the Black people spend aren't going to the Black-owned business. Is not going to the Black community, right? It's going outside of the community, and that's what Michael King's dream was, right? His real name was Michael. It wasn't Martin, right? So Michael King's nightmare, his horror story of a dream was for us to spend money in Moxie's instead of Judy's Island Grill, right? And instead of going to, okay, this is the thing. Back in the day, there was Black tailors you can go to. Right. Now you can't. Now you can't. It's hard to find a Black tailor in the city of Toronto. I remember I was I a young man or a trooper? I think I was a trooper. Right, Officer Aban, he was in Canada. He did an interview with a tailor, right? Or he spoke to a tailor. It was a while back, right? And we were trying to find out what was going on with the Black businesses. And the long story short was Black businesses are starving in the city of Toronto. Right? Because no one's going to the Black business because the white business looks shinier. Right? So let's get back into our article. It was a challenge, but I endured. I held on. Right? This sister shouldn't have had to endure too much when she has over 1 million brothers and sisters in the city. Right? Said Cheryl Bryan Phillips, owner of Judy's Island Grill. a small restaurant that serves authentic Caribbean cuisine at 7. Okay, so she serves Caribbean cuisine, right, at 1720 Eglinton Avenue West. Right now, 1 second. Listen, you know why they say Akim? Do you guys know why they say authentic Caribbean cuisine?
La, sir.
All right, I'm gonna have to show you something. 1 second.
Salakia one.
Fine.
Trying to make it more appealing.
No, yes and no, but there's something. Okay, I'm trying to find it. But yeah, Officer Shariwan, have you been through a few malls in Toronto?
Con, sir.
Do you remember ever seeing at any time like a Caribbean fast food spot in Duffer Mall?
Salak, I can't exactly remember. I know I think there's a Sunrise.
Okay, not Sunrise, right? But long story short, 1 second. You know what? You can Google anything. Hold up. You could Google anything.
Yeah, Salakia said that. I think the only fast food Caribbean spot I've been to was Sunrise, and I'm not sure if Willie's Jerk is considered fast food.
Okay, 1 second. I found it. It's called Jerk King, right? So why they say is to go to 1 second. Because there are, long story short, there are Caribbean fast food, for time's sake, I'll give it to you. There are Caribbean fast food places that aren't owned by Black people. Right?
Con,
For instance, yeah, everyone's had Randy's Patties, right?
con, sir.
Did you know Moab owns Randy's Patties?
Con, sir.
Good. Nice.
Salaki. When I found that out, that changed everything.
Changed the game for real, right?
God, sir.
Right. I was just trying to see if I could. Well, it doesn't matter for this right now. But that's why they have to say authentic, because there are Moabites who they pose as Jamaican, right?
Con.
Have y'all been to Mr. Jerk? Not Willie's. Willie's Jerk is sweet, right? But Mr. Jerk. Do you know when the last time I went into a Mr. Jerk?
Ah, sir.
It would have been around like 2009, 2008, where I see Moab behind the counter. And
Right.
I didn't know the truth then, but I knew Moab cannot make my jerk chicken. Listen, Moab is already accused of jerking a cat. If they jerk the cat, it might look like a chicken.
Good night.
Moab is a kid. So I was just saying, like, you know, my neighborhood had a lot of cats, and now Moab jerk chicken spot. My neighborhood doesn't have cats anymore. Good night. Yeah. But this is what happens when we go through with a lustful man's nightmare, right? And that's what MLK had. He had lust, right? He had lust for a heathen nation. He wasn't even lusting for a sister. Like a sister that doesn't have a husband, there's going to be some type of attraction there. There's going to be some type of lust, some type of yearning. She don't have a husband, right? So you could go and ask her father if you could take her as your bride, if you're allowed to court his daughter, right? And lust after your wife all you want, but he was lusting after hot mayonnaise in the sun. Good night. Like, oh, I just don't understand. But let's get back to this article. Right. 2018, I think, was our best year. After that, the pandemic hit. Oh, I'm telling you, it was going down. Things have gotten better since we reopened. Right. And that is no doubt. The pandemic definitely shut down a lot of businesses, right? Especially black businesses, right? The black businesses on Eglinton were closing, or the black businesses in the ghetto, every sister cooking out of her crib, were opening up. I can think of 10 different sisters who opened up, who started cooking out of their house and started selling the food. Right. And I know a bunch of brothers and sisters who go to those sisters instead of going to a McDonald's or a Harvey's or a Randy's Patties. Right. But the whole point of me saying that is black businesses are gonna fail. Right? Black businesses are gonna fail because they're not putting the Most High first. Right? And that's what's happening. The Most High is here with his COVID-19. This is just telling you, in 2018, everything was going all right. Black Wall Street said the same thing. Right? And then the pandemic hit. That's what this sister said. The people in Black Wall Street would tell you, yeah, everything was going all right, and then they dropped bombs on us. Right? Why is this happening? Because you have to put the Most High first. When you're not putting the Most High first, you're good. Your business is gonna fail. Martin Luther King did not put the Most High first, because if he was to put the Most High first, the Most High would have told him to take care of his people. Right. Instead, he wanted to take care of Cave Becky, and he said, "Listen, it's okay for us to be hand in hand with Cave Becky." So we're gonna go more into this article. The restaurant in operation for nearly 7 years bills itself as bringing a taste of the island to you. On its walls, there are photos of Bob Marley and Slovakia. Listen, listen. The likes of the Bob Marleys of the world and the Martin Luther Kings, like, it's Martin Luther King's dream that makes you accept Bob Marley, right? Bob Marley's a straight up heathen. The Jamaican reggae singer, songwriter, musician who died in 1981 and retired Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt. Brian Phillips said she is starting to see familiar faces again, along with more foot traffic, but the community needs is customers from outside the area. And that says a lot, right? That definitely says a lot, right? Because of the foot traffic died down when the construction started. Then the foot traffic was extra dead when the COVID started. Right. So that definitely lets you know a lot. Like black businesses aren't supposed to be able to die down. Right. Black love is supposed to be so strong that a sister's business is struggling and the community helps that business thrive. So she goes on, this article goes on. Let's see something. And this is definitely a good article. It goes on some more. We're gonna keep reading a little more, right? So grant funds programs. The grant from the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario has enabled the opening of a satellite office of the Black Business and Professional Association, nonprofit charitable organization formed in 1983 that serves to address equality and opportunity for the Black community in business, employment, education, and economic development. Right. So this is just talking about other programs. All right, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna put an end to that article. Give me one moment. One moment. Trooper Barack Allah, can you get me Jeremiah 23 and 25?
Canada Wakan.
Whenever you have it, we can read it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said. The prophecy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Right. So what this is talking about Martin Luther King right here. Right. He lied and said he had a dream. Well, he definitely had a dream of sleeping with Cave Becky, right? Like he had a Cave Becky in college, right? As he exited college, he knew that going out to the Black community, he couldn't present to them a Cave Becky and then turn around and tell us that we got to join Cave Becky, right? So he went and got a sister, right? And this is the same thing they do all the time, right? They always use us to make it seem like it's okay. Look at Barack Obama. Barack Obama went and got a sister, right? Even though Barack Obama, he probably don't even care about that sister. Like if we're just gonna if you're just gonna just keep it for real, like Barack Obama probably don't care about that sister. But if you want Black people, you're going to have to act like you love us, right? We could tell Barack Obama didn't love Black people because he's not Black, he's African, right? Black people aren't African, but he didn't love Black people because he didn't do nothing for Black people. He didn't sign any bills into power for Black people, right? So this is talking about Martin Luther King, though. Keep reading. Read it one more time.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said. The prophecy lies in my name, saying,
Right. So there are people who go out and prophesy lies in the Most High's name, right? They go and tell the children of Israel to go against the Most High, right? The Most High did not want us to be together with our oppressors. The Most High wanted us to be segregated from our oppressors, right? He didn't want us to integrate with our oppressors at all. You go all throughout the Bible and you see that he didn't want us to integrate. He told us not to deal with them. He told us not to love them. He told us not to give our daughters to their sons and our sons to their daughters. Right. Keep reading.
saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Right. That's what Martin Luther King said. He got up in front of black people and he said, I have a dream. Right. That Million Man March had nothing to do with Martin Luther King's dream. It was really about the black labor force. Right. But and then you gotta think about Martin Luther King and his whole way of life, his whole way of you got to be nonviolent, right? So he's telling you that you got to be nonviolent, but at the same time, you got to put your sons and daughters, your little children, in the line of fire, to be hosed down with fire hoses, to be straight up attacked and mauled by German shepherds, right? Barak and Allah, let's go to Ezra 9 and 2. Ezra 9 and 2, right? And I'm gonna step off for a quick second. I'll be right back. So, Salakia, Officer Shariwan, can you just break down Ezra 9 and 2 for a quick second?
Come on, sir.
Thawada.
There's the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands.
So
Yea, the hand of the
one second. I'm in Ezra's. Okay, Khan, go ahead and read that from the top.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons, that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands.
God. And that's what Martin Luther King did before he started his whole campaign. You understand? Like, you just look up the history of Martin Luther King. He loved that white woman. You understand? He loved his oppressor. And the only reason he got with that sister, I forget her name, was because he needed to do that to be seen and to be in the spotlight. He needed to be with that sister so that other brothers and sisters could see him, right, loving on his own people. But deep down, that brother loved his oppressor. You understand? He was in love with his oppressor. And these things, integration, these things go against the Most High. You understand? So Salaki, I'm going to pass the class back to Officer Whitey.
Khan. What were you just reading? You were reading Ezra's 9 and...
Ezra 9 and 2.
Khan, jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. Now therefore give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons.
Right. And that... Salaki, I'm not even on camera. Okay, Khan, we're back. Right. We're not supposed to take their daughters. We're not supposed to give them our sons. Right. You would think that a minister, right, someone who says that he's a man of the Bible, would have read that verse. Right. Read it one more time.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 12. Now therefore give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons.
Right. So you're not supposed to take their daughters or give your sons. Either way, you're not supposed to give. We're not supposed to have no dealings with these heathen nations, right? Martin Luther King wanted to love his master, right? Y'all familiar with the Django, right?
Khan.
Y'all remember Samuel Jackson's character?
Con, con.
The coon.
That's what Martin Luther King was, right? Now he did. So Salakia, Officer Shayuan, can you find me the burning house video?
Con, sir.
Come on, find me the burning house video. Barack, keep going.
More seek their peace or their wealth forever.
Right. You're not supposed to say I have a dream that Jamal will be hand in hand with Salakia. I don't even know it. I don't even know it a Miranda Salakia. I have a dream that Jamal will be hand in hand with Miranda. Right? You're not supposed to want that. You're not supposed to envy your oppressor, right? And that's something that brothers and sisters, a brother and sister in the world wants to be exactly like the oppressor, right? This is why they dress like oppressors. Their whole spirit is of the oppressor, right? You could tell a brother and sister Christmas has nothing to do with nothing, and they want to celebrate that Christmas, right? Here's another one. You could tell a sister that sex is marriage, right? And the ring and the whole concept of the piece of paper comes from the same people that killed Jesus Christ, right? Yahushua Mashiach in the Hebrew. And they're gonna disregard everything you just said because they want that ring and piece of paper because some oppressor told them that their relationship is not valid until you have a piece of paper signed by some other oppressor. Right? We're not supposed to seek their peace. Right? You're not supposed to want to be all buddy with some cave devil, with some cave devil, with some heathen nation at a bar. Right. Keep reading.
That ye may be strong
All right. So
and eat the good of the land.
this says, hold that right there, right? That ye may be strong. Baraki Allah, what does that mean?
That if we mix with the other nations, we become weak.
Right. Okay. Khan. We become weak, but how do we become weak?
By adopting their culture
Right. But okay,
and
Khan,
serving their
that's
gods.
definitely correct, right? We become weak by adopting their culture, right? But if we go with their culture, what happens to our culture?
We forget about it.
Right, right. And basically what happens is what we read in that article, right? We become weak, right? So if we don't deal with them and we don't seek after their wealth, right, we'll be strong. We won't be weak. Seeking after their wealth, like, okay, um, not even just seeking after their wealth, right? The whole aspect of Cave Becky, right? To a brother in the world, right? And I know brothers in the UPK, they don't know what the hell this is about, right? Because we don't even look at Cave Becky's, right? A brother in the world, he looks at a Cave Becky as a trophy, as a status symbol, right?
Khan.
Have y'all heard brothers in the world say this, right? Like you bring up, okay, have y'all ever tried to explain slavery to a brother in the world and why you're not supposed to sleep with Kay Becky?
Khan.
Con, sir.
What was the usual response from that brother in the world when you said, Listen, that white woman, her people had us in slavery. You're not supposed to be fucking her. Salakia, 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 Salakia. Right? You're not supposed to be sleeping with her.
Like their response is they're taking revenge.
Right.
Salakia, I never heard that one.
Salakia, Officer Shaywan, you never heard that before?
Taking revenge like us.
Con, that's listen. I know some. There's a group of sick brothers. These brothers are very sick, right? And they have strippers at their Passover. But Salakia, that's a whole nother issue, right? They're gonna say it's not strippers, but the the scantily dressed bottle girls, they have them at their Passover. But those sick brothers, you know, some of them believe that sleeping with Cave Becky is taking revenge.
God.
Right? There's brothers, those brothers are in the world anyway. So there's other brothers in the world with them that believe that, listen, when you sleep with a Cave Becky, she is your pet. You can make a pet out of her, and you're taking revenge for all the time the slave master would have raped your great grandmother. Now I just don't compute how me having pleasure is revenge for my family member being murdered. But you know, that's the lust of Martin Luther King. Right? That Christian church is a lustful place. Right? So Salaki, Officer Shayron, I thought you heard that one before, man. Brothers in the city, they be saying that a lot. Like, it's terrible. You gotta look at brothers like, what the hell do you mean? You're taking revenge. like nigga, you're the pet. She's dog walking you.
Salaki said, I know some brothers in the world who they never worded it as they're taking revenge, but they just kind of looked at these women like, I'm never taking them home, so I'm gonna just do whatever with them, kind of thing.
Yeah. So,
I never heard it as revenge. Salaki.
I've heard revenge. Baraki Allah heard it too. Like, you looked at that brother weird. Like, what the hell are you talking about? They murdered us. How is you're sleeping with her as revenge? Good night. Right. But Baraki Allah, keep reading.
And eat the good of the land, and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever.
Right. Now, how many of us work for an oppressor? Every one of us work for an oppressor. Right? Even when we work for ourselves, we take the money we work for ourselves and we go spend it with an oppressor. Right. And it's crazy because we'll get our paycheck, and the first person we usually pay out of our paycheck is an oppressor. Right. What's the inheritance that can we turn around and say, I've worked for this oppressor for 30 years. I'm just going to give it to my son. I'm going to make sure he has a job in this company. Right. That was Martin Luther King's dream. Right? That we wouldn't work for ourselves. We would go spend our money with the oppressor. Right. Officer Shariwan, do you have the burning house video?
Con, sir.
Con, you can share that with on the screen.
Con.
How long is the video?
So the one I have is 4 minutes.
4 minutes. You got it queued up to the part where he specifically says he led us into a burning house.
Con, sir, around 15 seconons in, it
Good
goes
night. Good night. 15 seconds in. That's usually how long it takes for you to recognize a burning house, right? black people in general, Salakia, we've been in it. We've been in a burning house for about 40, 50 years. Yeah, you can play that video full screener, Baba Kasha.
Concert.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Right, you can skip past this
I
part.
must confess.
Yeah, right here.
Concert.
It is up right here because we just
dream
read.
that I had that day.
Hold that for a second. We just read about his dream, right, which was really a nightmare. He said he has a dream to a whole bunch of black people, and we found out that his dream was a nightmare for us, and he was lying. He was prophesying lies. Let's find out. Let's find out what he said later after.
Con.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has in many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm
Good
not
night,
one
good
to
night.
lose-
Bring it back. Officer Shayuan, bring it back.
Con.
Bring it. Listen, DJ, hit me one more time. Bring it back. He must confess. Confession is good for the soul.
Right.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has in many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping.
Pause that for a second, right?
Still.
So in one clip, you could get rid of this trader off the screen now. He's done. He's cooked. He got himself cooked. Salakia. It sucks that he had to go out like that, but the Most High was showing us exactly what was up, right? That brother turned around and said, I have a dream, right? Then he turned around and said, I must confess that dream was a nightmare.
Con.
We're still living in this nightmare right now. We're begging for a good night. They gave $1 million to Eglinton. Like, that is such a slap in the face from all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who built this country, who built damn near the world that our oppressors live in today. Right? That is such a slap in the face. Brachiala, y'all got more of that verse? Or Salaki, what was that? That was it.
That was it out of one.
Officer Shayuan, bring me to 2 Ezra 6 and 56, right? We gotta hold up. No, drop that. Get me Lamentations 4 and 17. We're gonna go there because
Concert.
and like we stay turning to our oppressors for help, and it just doesn't work out. Right? It never works out. It's always the same outcome over and over again. Right? Salakia. Shameless plug. I forgot to add that. Shameless plug. Commanding General YAHANNA will be live tonight. It's Monday. You know what time it is. Black Watch News. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Right? It's going down. Commanding General YAHANNA will be live tonight. Black Watch News, 9 p.m. Right. So what do we got?
I'm holding Lamentations chapter 4 and 17.
Khan, you can read that.
Concert. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Right. Our eyes have failed. Right. Martin Luther King thought that listen, he wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew that going to our oppressors for help was not going to work out, right? Read that one more time, Baba Kasha.
Come. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, and our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Right. Why didn't Martin Luther King know this? Right. This is Salakia. This is the Old Testament, right?
Come, sir.
Yeah, Akim, y'all know Christians don't like that Old Testament. Salakia, they stay far away from that Old Testament. Can you imagine all the lives that would have been saved if Martin Luther King Jr. knew this verse?
Come.
Right? If Martin Luther King Jr. didn't want to sleep with his oppressor's daughter, so many brothers would have not been murdered. That's the thing that they don't want to talk about. Right? It's always, oh, he did so many things, right? I was on the clubhouse today, right? And I went into a room and they were basically making that man a god. Right? So my energy flipped the whole room upside down. Right? They said Martin Luther King this, free speech this, free speech that. Now I could be a lawyer, now I could be a politician, now I could do whatever the hell I want. Salakia, we got something in the comments. Yikes. If you're watching, do not click on the do not click on the links in the comments. Like, not the links in the comments, but there are bots in our comments, right? You can click on the UPK links, but there are bots in the comments that look like they have links that are supposed to be clicked on. Do not click on them. I'm going to remove them, right? All right, so it's been removed, right? But yeah, Martin Luther King, he didn't know this verse. Read verse 18, Baba Kasha.
Come. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
And this is they were hunting our steps before the civil rights, right? They're still hunting our steps now, right? I could think of Officer Shaywan. Do you remember you brought out an article about a native brother? He sold a devil a pair of some cigarettes. It had a one cigarette or two cigarettes out of the pack missing. And what did that devil do, Officer Shaywan?
Salakia, other one. He got in the car with his friend, and they hunted down that Gadite brother.
Right. They hunted his steps over what? 5 cigarettes, 10 cigarettes?
God.
And here's the kicker. Officer Shaywan is not telling you. What he didn't tell you right there is they used a hunting rifle.
God, yes, Salakia.
Right? A whole hunting rifle. Right? They literally hunt our steps. Right? Martin Luther King didn't give a damn about that. He didn't care about that. He didn't care that us taking the money out of the black community and giving it to our oppressors was going to kill our community. Right.
So Salakia, other one.
So
Salakia, I have a verse I'd like to bring up, but I'll finish this verse first. Verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Right, like it's damn near hard for a brother to walk around the streets comfortably with our oppressors. Salakia, if a brother's walking through a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood is a dangerous thing, right? I see there was a video of a brother who he was walking through the neighborhood. Some army sergeant got up in his face, ready to pulverize the lights out of this brother because he was simply walking through. Right? We can't even go out in the streets with these oppressors. Right.
Con,
So, like, Officer Sharyuan, you can bring out what you want.
sir. Thawada, sir. Trooper Bracket Allah, if you could, grab Ecclesiasticus chapter 34 and verse 7.
Khan.
And I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying, sir. When you were saying that if only he knew this verse, right? If only he read the Old Testament, right? If only he understood this verse, then maybe he would move in a different way.
Right.
Right? Go ahead, Barakala.
Ecclesiasticus 4 verse 7. For dreams have deceived me,
For dreams
and they
have
have
deceived
failed
many.
that put their trust in them.
If Martin Luther King read Ecclesiasticus 34 and 7, right, he would understand that dreams have deceived many people. Right? And even in that speech when he was saying, I've led my people into this nightmare. And after he said that, he went on to say, but I still have hope. And it's like the Most High, the Lord doesn't care the things that we dream and that we desire after and we lust after. Like the Most High has a plan for us. And all through the scriptures, he says he desires good things for us. He has blessings and promises. He wants to see our nation on top. You understand? And anybody who wants to go against the will of the Most High and what he has for his children, they're going to fail. They're going to be deceived by the dreams that they have, the things that they hope for that go against the Most High. All through the Bible, like Officer Zabadi was saying, we're all about being a holy people, a separate people unto the Most High. We're not supposed to integrate with these other nations.
Right.
These dreams that Martin Luther King had, they were vain dreams. Keep reading.
The law shall be found perfect without lies.
So, Salaki, read verse 7 one more time, Baba Kasha.
And wisdom is Ecclesiasticus chapter 34 verse 7. Have deceived many, and they have failed to put their trust in them.
Come. And they failed Martin Luther King. He put his trust in those dreams. He put his trust in the things that he wanted to see for his people.
He put his trust in those.
Right? Whether they were truly his or from somebody else. Those things, those dreams that people have for our people, you put your trust in them, they're going to fail. Right? Martin Luther King said that like before the brother lost his life. He was shot in the head with a bullet. And the place that he led his people was into a burning building. He said it himself, a place you go to die. Integration was never a good thing for us. And you see how bad it is for us in 2022. What's happening to little Jamaica over in Toronto. What's happening to our people all over North and South Central America. And that's what that's what the Most High desires for us. Right from the beginning, when he told Eve, don't learn from these other nations. Don't do what they do. Don't live like they live. He told Adam, he gave those instructions to Adam. Anybody who wants to go against the will of the Most High, we're going to fail. That's exactly what happened to Martin Luther King. So like Adam.
Nah, that was definitely heavy. Like, yeah, like what you're saying is definitely heavy. Like even to precept what Officer Sharyuan just said. Like, you go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 9. I'll read it for you real quick, right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 9. right? The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, right? That's letting us know, like, we're separate from these heathens. We're not supposed to be together, right? We're not supposed to be together. Listen, we have a whole council law, right, where you go to him and him alone, right? And at the end of it, if that brother, Salaki, I'll say it like this, right? We have a law where two brothers might fight. They're supposed to go to council about it. If the council happens and the judgment, the matter is judged, and someone is still not adhering to the council, they kick him out of the body, meaning he's no longer around the people. It specifically says treat him like a heathen, meaning heathens were never around us. That's why we're treating this brother like a heathen, right? Or this sister, right? The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself. He has sworn unto thee that thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. Marrying cave Becky's and cave Moabs and Moabites that like that chicken fried cat, Salakia. We're not supposed to be with them. We're Israelites. This is what the Bible says. This is what God is saying. God is saying this. I'll read it again. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 9. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people. We're not supposed to do whatever Martin Luther King wanted us to do. Right? Y'all are wondering why their sisters unruly. Their sisters unruly because they believe in Martin Luther King's dream.
Right.
Their sisters unruly because they don't have a head that's going to keep them in order. Listen, I'm going to give you free game. Most sisters like authority. They don't like a weak brother. A sister is going to challenge your authority because I just don't understand our sisters, but some sisters like to argue. Some sisters like to be told aggressively by their men, shut the hell up, right, over an argument, and then they go into a fight with their husband right after. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Like, it is what it is, right? But this is how it's been, right? And Martin Luther King told them that they could do whatever they want. Martin Luther King told brothers that you don't have to get with that sister. Go sleep with the other nation. She's angry because a lot of sisters are angry because they're strong black men that they need are out with a cave Becky, right? Those brothers, they're not strong. The brothers that go with cave Becky's are not strong. They're absolutely weak, right?
Okay.
Now, if you want to learn how to be strong, you got to get in all black and shut the hell up and listen. Take orders and say Kanado on Khan. Right? That's how you become strong as a brother. Right? But let's keep going. Get Officer Shah, you want get me 2 Samuel 24 and 14, Baba Kasha. Trooper Baraki Allah. Hold Matthew 20. Hold Matthew 22, Baba Kasha. Officer Shah, you could read 2 Samuel 24.
So was that verse 17?
Verse 14.
14. Come. And David said unto God, I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great. And let not me fall into the hand of man, verse 15.
1 second. Right. So read that one more time.
Come. Verse 14. And David said unto God, I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great.
Right. So this is what's happening is David is going to be punished, right? He knows that it's better to fall into the hands of the Lord than to fall into the hands of the oppressor, right? And our oppressor, he has a fragile empire. Right? They definitely have a fragile empire. You can right. He didn't want to fall into the hands of the oppressor. Right? This is what Martin Luther King should have known. It's better to fall at the hands of the Lord than to the hands of the oppressor. Who cares if the oppressor's whipping our back? Who cares if the now that's not to say who cares, right? Like we're not gonna care, right? But the oppressors are going to be oppressors. It was better that we stayed segregated and turned to the Lord, right? Look at how fragile our oppressor's kingdom is now. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to turn around and beg to be with the oppressor. We didn't have to turn around and beg for his mercy. Right? The whole earth has been the whole earth has been spinning backwards for like the last 2 years. Right? David knew it was better to fall into the hands of the Lord than to fall into the hands of the Most High. Because look at how organized the oppressors become when it comes to hating us. When it comes to hating us and making sure that we're punished, they're well organized. Da, 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 da. Right. Now look at it like this, right? Officer Shaw, what you said was so heavy, right? Because Martin Luther King, we all know what happened to Martin Luther King. He was shot by a heathen and murdered, right? Read that last part again.
Come. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great.
Right. The Lord's mercies are great. The Lord the Lord's mercies are so great that he's taking brothers that listen, we would have been straight up terrorizing our neighborhoods. We would have been straight up sleeping with every sister. We can get a sister and throw her away. That is the mercy of the Most High. Right? The fact that every time we were shot at, or every time we drove drunk, or every time we did some type of drugs, or every time we stole or sold drugs or sold another woman in prostitution, we didn't die and we didn't go to jail for life, shows you how great the Most High's mercy is. Right? To a point where the Most High, he let us get it right. He said, listen, it's time for you to go home. It's time for you to go home. We put on all black and shut the hell up and said, Kanada and Khan. Salakia, Officer Shaw, my computer dies, take over.
Come, sir.
All right, should be good. Right. So we're seeing that it was better to fall at the hands of the Most High, right? Now keep reading.
Come. And let me not fall into the hand of man.
Murder shot with a rifle on a balcony.
Right.
Or murdered in the Autobahn by your own brothers and sisters. Right. But because we're talking about Martin Luther King, right? And murdered on a balcony, the hands of man. Trooper Bracchiala, you got that Matthew 30 and 40? The Matthew 22?
Matthew 22?
Yeah, Matthew 22, Baba Kashar. You could start at 36. And Officer Shaiwan, get me Proverbs 11 and 21, Baba Kashar, when you get the chance.
Come.
You can read it whenever you got it, Trooper.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
Right. So this was This is the Pharisees, right? They're asking Christ. They're trying to trick him at this moment, right? They're being Christians. They're being good old Christian pastors, right? Keep reading.
Verse 37. Which I said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Right. So Yahweh said unto them, Thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart. Right. This is what Yahweh is telling them, that they're supposed to love. Right? They're supposed to love God. Right? Trooper, how do you love God?
By following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right. So they're supposed to keep the law, statutes, commandments in their heart and in their soul and in their mind, meaning it's supposed to be about them. Like that's what they're supposed to be about the law, meaning they're supposed to be about living sin free. Right? Read 38.
Verse 38. This is a great commandment.
Read it one more time.
38. This is the first and great commandment.
Right. This is the first and great commandment. Right? That's what it is. The first and great commandment. That you're supposed to love God. Guess what? Martin Luther King did not love God. You want to know why? Because he told you to go sleep with your oppressor. Baba Kasha, Officer Shaiwan, drop what you have. Bring me to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter.
Come, sir. Starting from verse 1.
I'm looking for what I'm looking for. 1 second. But Salakia, jump over to Deuteronomy 7.
Come.
Read verse 2.
Come. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 2. When the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Wait. Right? So, little preface, right? This is the Lord. When you read verse 1, the Lord is telling us as we go out of Egypt, right? And we're coming into these other nations that we're going to see. These are African nations, right? that we're not supposed to deal with them. We're supposed to smite them and destroy them. Right? Keep reading.
Kadokan. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Keep reading.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Keep reading.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right. Now, Baraka Allah, go back to what you have.
Matthew 22, verse 8.
Right. Now, read
And great
verse 7.
commandment.
Read 37, Baba Kasha.
Salakia, what was that?
Read 37.
Khan, verse 37. Yahweh said to him, Thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Right. So we're reading. We're reading. Right. we're reading that you're supposed to love the Most High with all your soul, right? Which, and we find out loving the Most High means you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Now you can read 38 down.
Verse 30. This is the first and great commandment.
Right. So that's a commandment. You're supposed to love the Most High. You're supposed to keep his commandments. Martin Luther King wasn't keeping his commandments by telling the children of Israel to love their oppressors, that it's okay to love their oppressors. That doctrine has literally destroyed the black community to it's a point right now where trying to get a black person not to love their oppressors, it's like you're talking nonsense. Every other nation gets to hate their oppressors. The fake Jewish man gets to remember every year about slavery. You tell a black person that Salakia, right? The fake Jewish man gets to remember every year about the Holocaust and 6 million of his people being murdered. He has a right to, right? He literally has a right to remember the crimes done to his people. So do black people. So do Hispanics. So do Native Americans, right? If the Amalekites kid every year remembers 6 million of their people being murdered, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have the right to remember that we were 99 million of us were murdered throughout the real Holocaust called slavery, the transatlantic slave trade that started with Native Americans, that were basically the Northern Kingdom in the South Americas. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. We're supposed to love our own as ourself. That's what that's explaining to you. We're supposed to love our own as ourself, right? During these times, an oppressor would have not have been our neighbor, right? Another Israelite would have been our neighbor. You're supposed to love your own people as yourself, right? Drop that. Bring me to Proverbs 11 and 21.
Khan.
right? And this is what every Black, Hispanic, and Native American should know from here on out, right? Do you don't want to get caught up with the oppressors, right? From here on out, you should know that the Lord, he doesn't care if he sees you with the oppressors. He's going to destroy you, right? He knows the Black business owners of Eglinton are celebrating Christmas. He doesn't care about Eglinton, right? He will make those businesses fail because you're not worshiping him like you're supposed to. He's done it with all of our businesses. He's done it our whole life. He's done it with all of our communities that we thought were prominent. You can read it when you got it.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Right. So though hand join in hand, though Martin Luther King wanted his sons to be with his oppressor's daughter, the wicked are still being punished. Right. Lord be with that, brother. Hopefully he could rise again and come into the kingdom. Right. Hopefully he could rise again and come into the kingdom. Right. Hopefully he's learned the error of his ways. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you should take Martin Luther King's life and his dream, his nightmare, as a lesson. We just watched him talk about it himself. Right. He was Salakia, for lack of better words, he was a false prophet who was lust filled, right? He was filled of lust. Lust is just an emotion. It's a carnal minded emotion, right? He didn't care about the benefits of his people. He didn't care that us integrating was going to kill all of our sports leagues. Now Black folks don't have a sports league. If there's any high profile Black athlete that does anything that our oppressors deem as going against what they stand for, he's not going to be able to feed his family. Right? His whole family is not going to be able to eat because he went against what the oppressors stand for. That's not supposed to be happening. Right? Everyone's always complaining about there's a lack of Black NFL coaches. There's a lack of Black diversity in the jobs they work, right? That's because you're being told you're supposed to love your oppressors and you're supposed to shop with your oppressors. If Martin Luther King Jr. did not tell us to love the oppressors, here's what would have happened, right? The Negro League would still be here. Jackie wouldn't have went to go play baseball for the, I think he went to play for the Yankees and have baseballs whipped at his head from his oppressors. Here's what also would have happened. Every Black neighborhood that the Negro Leagues were in would have thrived. Right? If we didn't listen to Martin Luther King, Eglinton wouldn't be begging for $1 million from the federal government. They only gave him $1 million stinking dollars. Right? What the federal government is going to do is it's going to run those Black businesses out of that neighborhood. They're going to fix up that neighborhood. Their rent is going to go up. Those businesses are going to slowly disappear. If the federal government really cared about Eglinton, they would have gave them heritage. Right? What were you reading? Keep reading what you were reading. Was that it?
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Right. The seed of the righteous. The righteous are those who follow the Most High. right? If you follow the Most High, you're going to be delivered, right? You got to get in all black and get in the ISUPK, right? I'm gonna end it with this. Like Joseph was a smart man, right? 1 second. One second. We're gonna find it right now. Give me a second. Rocket Allah, find me the verse where Joseph is telling his brothers to tell the Egyptians they're shepherds.
Khan.
Okay, bring me to Genesis 47:3, Baba Kasha. All right. We're gonna see what a true leader does. Right. And we have a leader today. Right. We have a true leader today. His name is Commanding General YAHANNA. He's at the helm. He's leading blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans until Yahushua gets back. Right. When Yahushua gets back, Yahushua is going to take the lead. Right. But on earth right now, Commander General YAHANNA, he's leading. Right. Just like Moses did, just like Aaron did, just like Joseph did, just like David did, just like Solomon did. Right. Just like Paul did when Yahushua was gone. Right. You have the Genesis?
Khan.
Khan, you can read it.
Genesis chapter 47.
You
verse
can
3.
start. Actually, you can start at. You can start at 40. You can start at verse 1.
Khan. Genesis chapter 47, verse 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen.
Right. So this is what was happening, right? So after Joseph established himself in Egypt, right? His brothers and father came because the famine was still going on. He established them in Goshen, right? And he went and told Pharaoh, "Listen, my family said they're in the land of Goshen. They weren't in the cities with the Egyptians. He set them apart. He gave them their own little space, right? Because Joseph was viceroy. He was second in command in these times in Egypt, right? Read verse 2.
Verse 2. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh.
So he took some of his brethren and he went and presented them to Pharaoh. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers.
Right. They said they're shepherds because the Egyptians thought it was beneath them to be around shepherds. Joseph knew to separate his people from their oppressors, from the heathen nations that didn't like them, right? Even though they had to go there to get something to eat, they still stayed separate. That's what Martin Luther King should have known. Again, Christians hate the Bible. They absolutely hate the Bible. Right? But with that said, we're gonna bring an end to this class. Salakia. We're definitely gonna bring an end to this class. Clap it up. Salakia, one moment. All right, I'm gonna read the security announcements right quick. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which was a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, verses 8 to 10, Ma'asher, which means tenth in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, fuel offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations, right? The next up and coming holy convocation is the Memorial of Purim, which is it's remembering Esther, a honorable sister, Hadassah, which is the fertile one or myrtle tree, right? That is February 15th, 2022. We're going to be announcing a location shortly, if there is going to be a location. The city of Toronto is in lockdown at the moment, so the best thing to do is to get with your camp leader, right? Reminder to Akim and Aqua, check isupk.com. Also, blackwatch.news. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, I'm Majum, which means to stand. We're gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers. I'm Majum Shabbat. I'm Majum. Barak. Yahweh Shemir Shai Barakatha. Yajamata. Men of Israel, start to the sisters. Turn to the sisters. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim. Barak. Yahweh Shemar Avatham Ba'Shem Yahushai. Yajamata. Hands down. Class dismissed. Salakia, I'm going to drop the sign out link right quick. I just have to get something else to share. Hold up. Baraki Allah, I'm done with the class. I'm just going to share the Passover video. Yo, if you want to step out for the class is definitely over. I'm just going to share the Passover video right quick.
Shalom Yahweh Shem Rakatha.
Shalom Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatha.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Lord, Passover.
53rd annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God. Come on, to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. The IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the metaphor. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Control your dishes, pots, and forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like a party in a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God. Come on, to save you and your.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. The IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the metaphor. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Control your dishes, pots, and forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like a party in a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state,